Hi everyone, it's another driving video. Today I'm going to drive north up Yonge Street. I'm at the southern terminus of Yonge Street right now, just next to Lake Ontario. Yonge Street is supposed to be the longest street in the world, but that so-called line that's been used for many years has been disproven many times over, but it is a long street. Toronto's roads are a grid system, like most North American cities. Yonge Street runs north-south and is a kind of dividing line running through the centre of the city. Main streets that cross it are divided into east and west versions of the same street. So for example, here is Gerrard Street. To the west of Yonge Street, it is Gerrard Street West. And, no surprise here, if you are east of Yonge Street on Gerrard, you are on Gerrard Street East. So let's say you're driving north and you turn right onto Gerrard Street East. The first street number you'd encounter would be 1 Gerrard Street East, and from there the street numbers would continue to rise. Going back to the southern point of Yonge Street where I start this drive, the first street number would be 1 Yonge Street, and the numbers continue to rise as you travel north. This is the same for any major north-south running street in Toronto. And once you get used to how this confusing thing works for us Brits, it helps you to navigate the city. Anyway, back to the drive. I'm just east of Yonge Street, so I'm going to turn onto Yonge Street. Just ahead and to the left is the Hockey Hall of Fame. We just passed King Street, which is kind of the financial district of Toronto. We're now coming to Queen Street, which is kind of considered the fashion district. I've slowed the camera down as we head towards Dundas Square, which is Toronto's answer to kind of Piccadilly Circus or Times Square in New York. It's where you might see a lot of protests or street performers and that kind of thing. A little bit cold right now though. I'm not massively familiar with strip joints, but there's one on the right which I believe was an epicenter for COVID transmission, but I might have to fact check that one. The brass rail. If it wasn't the brass rail, it was another strip joint, but yeah, there you go. While we're waiting at another red light, I'll take this opportunity to please say, consider giving me a subscribe. Please like and comment on this video. Every subscription helps to encourage me to make more videos. There'll be more driving, time-lapse and nature, hiking, wildlife videos to come. Please stay tuned and thank you for watching. Have some kind of protest there, but I have no idea what it's for. We're just approaching Yonge and Eglinton, which is a complete nightmare right now. I worked here up until about a year ago doing deliveries. There's nowhere to park, and the reason it's such a nightmare right now, aside from the fact that it's extremely built up with apartments and condominiums, is that there's a lot of construction because they're adding public transit to this area, and it just backs up and it's just crazy. into the region of Toronto called North York at Yonge and Sheppard. Lots of traffic, but it's also coming up to that time of day. So we're coming up to Steeles Avenue now. As soon as we cross this road, we are no longer in Toronto. Steeles Avenue is the northern boundary of Toronto. You'll have noticed in the last block or so that the roads are kind of widening. There's 3 lanes now. We're definitely entering into a kind of urban sprawl, into kind of the suburban area. We would have started at 1 Yonge Street. We're now at 6,464 Yonge Street. So now we are in Thornhill. We are no longer in Toronto. You wouldn't know it if you blinked. We are stopped at 16th Avenue and coming up to Richmond Hill to the north. To the east is Markham, and to the west is Vaughan. We've had a little bit political, but we've had freedom protesters here from the truckers that you may have seen in the news. There's a vehicle ahead of me that somebody has written freedom in the dirt on their back window. So as we leave Richmond Hill, you can see that the population is less dense and everything's a little bit more open. There's even some empty lots where building could and probably in the future will happen. The next major town that we'll come to is Aurora. We're now entering Aurora. Just crossing Savage Road, and we're into the southern edge of Newmarket. We're now at Thompson Drive in Holland Landing, and things look a lot different than they did at the beginning of this video. And so we unceremoniously reach the end of Yonge Street. What I might do is just kind of go off to the east a little bit and then continue north and see if we can get to Lake Simcoe, just briefly to have a look at that. Well guys, that was Yonge Street. I'm parked near the shore of Lake Simcoe and I'm going to do a little bit of filming there for the end of this video. But if you enjoyed this driving video, please subscribe. There'll be more of these kinds of things, as well as other time-lapse videos, nature videos, which is my specialty, hiking, wildlife, that kind of thing. Please give me a subscribe. It will encourage me to make more videos. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments or suggestions about other places I could do driving videos or walking videos, please leave those in the comments. Once more, thanks for watching.